Hello everybody and welcome to a new Burning Games video. Today we want to show to you our new game CoreBall played in Tabletopia, and I'll be joined by my colleague Carlos, who is the main designer of the game.
Hello.
So he'll be playing with the Bullbugs, who are the green team. He'll tell you more about them later. And myself, my name is Helio, and I'll be playing the red team called the Space Sharks. They are specialized in pushing people around. So, most of you probably don't know about CoreBall yet. CoreBall is a sports board game based on the Universe of Faith, our previous game, and basically it's a version of American football in space. And what you have to do to win is score more points than your opponent. And the way you do that is by maintaining control of the ball. You don't actually have to score goals. There's no physical goal. You just have to have the ball with one of your flyers, which is how the players are called. And if you have the ball controlled by one of your flyers, then you will score 3 points at the end of each round. And other things you can do is you can push the opponent's flyers out of the board or into obstacles, asteroids, things like that. You can grab them, grapple them so they cannot move. You can hack their spacesuits. You can try to steal the ball from them. You can use all kinds of special actions that some of the flyers have, and that will allow you to trigger special effects. And the way you achieve all this is by discovering interesting combinations between the skills of your different flyers to try to outsmart your opponent. So what we're going to do in this video is do a quick introduction of the basic rules of CoreBall, and we're going to talk about some of the quirks that you will encounter when you play CoreBall on Tabletopia, which will not be exactly the same as when you play the physical thing once it's produced. And then we'll play an entire match between Carlos and me, so you can see how an actual game of CoreBall looks like. So having said this, now Carlos will walk us through the basic rules. Go ahead.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to basically explain all of the rules. Hopefully, I don't forget anything. Okay, so the game is played on this board, and in Tabletopia you cannot see it because it's not physically possible to build within the system. But this board is going to be a plastic transparent surface. Uh, and underneath you're going to be able to slide in the mats. So every round we're going to play in a different mat, and we're going to uh, take them out like this and to reveal the next one. In the physical copy, you would shuffle them, and you can place them underneath, and you can reveal them one by one. Okay, so this first one we see here, there's nothing in it, and this is the one we will use for deployment. But right after that, when we begin the first round, we're going to find ourselves in space with different kind of things going on, which we have to be careful about. Okay, so how do you win? Basically, you play 4 rounds, and the idea is that whoever has the most points at the end of the fourth round wins. You start the game with 5 points, so you can begin losing points straight away before you even earn any. And there's one way, only one way of getting points, and that is scoring the ball. How do you score the ball? Have it under your control at the end of each round. If you do that, you get 3 points. Okay, so there is always one ball less than players, and therefore, because there is only two of us and not four, as you can see here, you can also play with 4 people or even 3 people. We will play with only one ball. So every round we will be able to score 3 points, whoever has that. But there are also ways of losing points, and this is very important. So you lose a point every time one of your characters is wounded. I will explain what wounded does in a moment. And you can also lose points by leaving the board. All right. So the idea is you have a team of 8 flyers, and you're going to use only 5 of them on the board, while the other 3 you're going to keep in your reserve. And between rounds, you might be able to bring them in. So as you can see, some of them are miniatures, and some of them are not miniatures, but this weird thingy that Tabletopia allows you to do, which is very, very cool, which is you use art as kind of like a stand-in, and it just flips around with you. It's very nice. Okay, and that is why, because at this stage of development, we don't have all of the miniatures ready, or they are ready, but we haven't implemented them into Tabletopia yet. I mean, it's a complicated progress, but you get the idea. The miniatures are quite nice, although Tabletopia only accepts like very low quality files, so you don't see the details. Also, the lighting within the game is not really good. So,
But you can go to our to the game's website, CoreBall.boardgame.com, and in there you will be able to see all the miniatures in all their full detailed glory.
yes. All right. So how do you play? So you're going to place 5 guys on the board, and your opponent is going to play 5 guys on the board. Okay. So characters can be in any of these squares, right? And you can have up to 4 players in each square, but no more than 2 per player. Okay. So this is this is a full square. If they stop jumping around, what is going on? Oh my god. All right. Uh, so how do you how can I explain this? Okay, yeah, we were explaining points, right? So you can lose points by having your character wounded. So each character has a miniature, but he also has a card, and in the card you can see the skills and the unique abilities that it has. All right, if the character is wounded, you have to flip that card, and in the other side he's going to be slightly weaker, and if he is wounded again, then he dies and has to leave the game. Okay, so you lose 1 point every time you're wounded. But you can also lose points by leaving the board. You leave the board when someone pushes you out, or when you leave voluntarily, or some game effect has you leave the board. All right, so you can. This is one of the most interesting parts of the game. If you are moved out of the board outside your activation, you lose 2 points. If you are moved out during your activation, it will depend on if you have performed an action or not. If you have not performed an action, then you can leave the board for free. All right, and that's very nice because it will allow you at the beginning of the next round to enter with another flyer that might be more useful in the current situation. But if you leave the board during your activation after performing an action, then it costs 1 point. All right, so you have to balance things out and see if it's worth it to lose the point to maybe have a better chance of winning the next round. Okay, I usually like to start explaining how to win because it's kind of like everyone's question, but how do you actually play? All right, so every time it's your turn, you're going to choose one of your flyers on the board. You're going to rotate the card 90 degrees to activate the flyer, and then you can perform 2 movements and 1 action. Okay? So characters can move only orthogonally. I cannot pronounce that. You cannot move
Orthogonally.
orthogonally. Yeah, you cannot move vertically. Okay, so you pick up your character on the board, and you can perform 2 movements and 1 action, and you can do them in any order or skip whatever you want. So I could move here, do my 1 action here, and then move there, or I could do my action and not move whatever I want. Okay, all of the flyers do the same unless their card says that they can do more. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
So, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Uh, and what Carlos has just explained is the activation phase, which is where most of the gameplay actually happens. But each round has 3 different phases. The first one is substitutions, which you don't play in the first round, and it's the phase when you can bring in new flyers. If you have less than 5 on the board, then there's the activation phase. Each player activates 1 flyer alternatively until everybody has activated all of their flyers. And then there's the resolution phase, which we'll see later on. but basically you resolve momentum, you ready your flyers again, you resolve terrain effects and things like that.
Yes. Okay, let's explain the different actions and how you perform them. Okay, so let's place a couple characters here, and let's say it is my turn. And I have on the board only Striker. He's a terrible, terrible player. So, but let's try it anyways. Why are they jumping? Okay, so let's say that Phaser, that's Helio's character, is in control of the ball, while I am in control of Striker. Right, so I can move into that square and trying to perform an action. Whoa.
Sorry.
That's fine. I mean, Tabletopia, you have to be careful because things jump around and move around. It's kind of strange. Okay.
No, but it's good that this happened now. This is a trick we've learned during our Tabletopia tests. If you really zoom in and you are very precise with your mouse, you're not going to have any problems moving things around. If
Yes.
you don't do that and instead you try to click on your miniatures from too far, then you may grab more than one thing at the same time or grab the back tile, things like that.
Yeah.
But if you zoom in, then you shouldn't have any problems with it.
Correct. Okay, so let's go over the card. I'm going to show you a striker. Okay, so each character has 6 skills, and then he might have or she might have unique abilities which are written down in text. So the skills are in order from top to bottom. Ball. Ball is used for everything that has to do with ball, from stealing the ball to keeping the ball to passing the ball to another player in the board. Whatever you want to do with ball is going to be done with that skill. The next one is pushing. So when you push a flyer, so basically you have to push someone who is in the same square as you, and you declare you're going to push him, and you declare where you're going to push him, which has to be an adjacent space. So I could
Yeah,
push Phaser,
orthogonally
yes,
adjacent.
into
So
these
top,
four
bottom, right, or left.
areas. If we were by the border of the circuit, I could push him out, and he will lose 2 points if that happens. All right. Then
Okay.
grapple. Grapple is used basically by you have to be in the same square as the other player, and then you say you're going to grapple him, and if you are successful, in the physical game, there's going to be a little piece you're going to put between the two character miniatures.
Yeah, it's
But
going to be like a double hook that
yeah,
will hook around the plastic stands of the miniatures.
yes,
But in Tabletopia, because it doesn't allow us to implement that,
yeah,
we're going to use the grapple tokens
yeah, we're going
you
to
will
use grapple
see.
tokens. So you're going to use this token if you have been grappled, and this token if you have grappled. All right. And basically, when you grapple someone, every time you move, that character must move with you. Okay. And that's very nice because you can take him to dangerous places or even out of the circuit. All right. And the person who has been grappled, the only thing they can do is try to use the grapple action to become free. Okay.
And this means that if a flyer has a 0 on that skill, like Phaser, my flyer, does, then they won't be able to escape. If
Yes.
they are grappled, then they are grappled for the entire match or until the other person decides to release them.
Yes. So what's the next ability? So that's dodge. And dodge is basically passive because you cannot do it actively. It's only to avoid being affected by other people. So you can use dodge to avoid being grappled or being pushed. Okay. The next one is hacking. So hacking can be done from anywhere on the board. Okay. So I could be here and I could still hack Phaser if my character was able of hacking. If you hack someone, you're going to give him a hack token, which are these
Gray,
yeah, the gray one, sorry. I think, yeah,
the gray
the
ones.
gray.
Yeah.
You can see the symbol is the same. So you put that on top of the card of that character. All right, and that means that character cannot move that round. Okay, until he removes a token, that character cannot move. And the last one is your firewall, and again, like dodge is also passive, and basically you use against hacking, so you're not hacked and you can still move around. All right, and then everyone has their own ability text and so on. So how do you actually use these skills? So let's say that Phaser has the ball on this square, and I come with this character. I enter that square, and then I say I'm going to use my ball action to steal the ball from you. Now, Phaser's only choice in this case is to use ball to protect himself. So what you do is you draw the first card from your deck.
Well, you first you look at the card. In my case, my ball skill is 3, but my special ability carrier says Phaser gains +1 ball control towards defend counters, which is what I'm gonna be doing now. So instead of 3, I get a value of 4.
Yes. My character has a ball of 3 and has a cool ability, but is useless for this situation. Right. So each of us draw one card, and then you reveal it and add the value of that card to the value of your skill. In my case, 3 plus 2, 5. And that's my action value. Helio, what's
Cool.
yours?
Yep. Mine is 6. Cool Tabletopia trick. You can flip cards by pressing right click and then this arrow that says flip, or you can also press F, the key F, and that's going to flip the card automatically.
Yeah, it's quite handy to use F, otherwise
Yeah.
it takes forever. All right, so I got a 5, he got a 6, therefore he won, and he gets to keep the ball. What happens is when you use any of the 3 first actions, which are ball,
Push and grapple.
No, sorry, not with ball. It's only with push and grapple.
Yeah, push and grapple.
So nothing happens. He keeps the ball, and I fail my action, and that's kind of my turn. So
but you get to keep the card, right?
I get to keep the card. So basically, how it works is whoever has the highest value wins. If there is a draw, the attacker wins. That would have been me. But if the attacker loses, then he gets to keep the card. And each playing card has some text. And you only get to use that text ability once you have gained that card, right? So when I played it, that text, you have to ignore it. But because I lost, I keep it, and now I gain the text ability, which is a reaction after the resolution phase begins. I can choose one square, and I cancel the area terrain in that square. Okay, that can be handy if I'm going to crash or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine is the same, but I do not get to keep the card because I won, and because even if I had lost, I was defending, I was reacting to what Carlos did. So even if I lost, I would not get to keep the card. Only when it's your activation and you attempt to do something and you lose, then you get to keep the card.
Correct. Okay, so let's show another couple of situations. For example, let's have Wally here and perhaps Serian. Right.
Yeah.
So let's say that it's your turn. No, you cannot get to these characters because they are too far away. So you can get to Wally.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna push Wally here. But we'll have to play cards to see what happens.
Yes.
In this instance, it doesn't actually make a lot of sense to do that because this tile is empty. But there could be something here, an obstacle, or maybe there could be some area terrain here, and maybe I was interested in getting Wally there, or maybe I just want to push him away so he doesn't reach one of my other flyers on the board. So just bear with us during these abstract examples,
Yes.
and during the actual match that we're gonna play later, everything will make a lot more sense.
Yes. All right. So you're pushing me, and your pushing skill is 4.
Yeah,
Let's look at my card. So my dodge is 2, which is not great against a 4, but my grapple is 3. So in CoreBall, you can use push and grapple as a counter action, right? So he could come to my square and try to push me, but maybe I am the one who pushes him, or maybe I am the one who grapples him. The only issue is if I use either of these abilities as a counter action, I will get a tire token, which means I won't be able to perform an action during my next activation because I kind of did it outside my activation, right? So if I go ahead now and I grapple Syrian, that means I did my action before it was my activation. So I'm going to, I don't know, do that. Let's see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
So
So I just drew a card.
I get a total of
Let's
7.
and I get 8.
All right, so you win,
So I
and
succeed. And then Wally is moved here.
yes, and I get a tire token on top of my character's card. Okay, let's say that was Sirion's activation, so he has to rotate his card 90 degrees.
Yeah. Uh,
And now it
you
will,
can use the keys Q and E to rotate the cards counterclockwise or clockwise, respectively. Or you can right click, then move into this circle arrow, and then select the amount of degrees that you want to rotate the card.
yes. Okay, so that was Ellio's activation performed with Sirion. Now it is my turn, so I could choose one of my characters on the board who are not activated yet. So for example, I could choose to activate a Wally, right? And Wally, because he's tired, he cannot perform an action, but he can move. So I can do 2 movements and get into a better position on the board. And then at the end of my activation, I'm going to remove 1 token of 1 tire token and 1 hack token from my card. Okay, so if I had 2 tire tokens because they just bully me very hard, and 1 hack token, that means I cannot move, I cannot do an action, and I have to stay where I am. But after activation, I remove 1 of each. Ooh, no. But I'm still tired for the next round, which is terrible. All right, so you remove 1 of each at the end of each round. Okay,
All
so
right.
I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think those are the basics. And then we can cover terrain and momentum as they come up.
Yes.
I think it's going to be more interesting. We can do a quick recap. In some of the tiles, you will find asteroids and space debris. And what those do is they wound you or they give you a tire token if you are on top of that square at the end of the round. And then between some of the squares, you'll find some obstacles, some that are red, which are called force fields. They wound you if you go through them. Others are kinetic barriers. They are orange and they give you a tire token if you go through them. And the most interesting ones, in my opinion, are rail guns, which are white and they have some little arrows on them. And if you go through them, what they do is they give you a momentum token of the color of the direction they are aiming towards. So purple, blue, green, or yellow. And what momentum token do is they force you to move 1 square in that direction during the resolution phase. And you will be affected by any obstacles you cross during that movement. And if you are moved out of the field, then that will detract points from your score and so on. But yeah, we'll see everything in more detail as it comes up.
Okay, so let's begin playing. Let's say, I mean, we will have to randomly select who begins. Oh, you should shuffle that back.
Yeah, I'll shuffle that back. So Maybe don't move it. It's my deck, so let me.
I didn't.
Um, all right. How do you straighten
Shuffle.
it? Ah,
Right
there you
click
go.
and
Yeah.
shuffle.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So
Shuffle.
let's randomly select who begins. So I don't know how you can do that in Tabletopia. Let's say that you begin.
Yeah. Oh, I have to ready Syrian. All
Yeah.
right. So if I begin, I will have the ball at the beginning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place Phaser, which is my best ball carrier, with the ball in
Yes.
that square.
So if you begin, you have the ball, and you must play the first time you place a flyer, he must have the ball.
Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick two ball tokens. One I will place next to the miniature. The other one I will place on top of the card. So if at any point there's any doubts as to who has the ball, we can check that. In the actual game, the ball will be a small clip that you will be able to put on top of the miniature's base.
Yeah,
But in
physics,
Tabletopia, yeah, we have to do
physics
that.
in Tabletopia are funny. All right, so he plays there, and then I have to choose what I'm going to do. So I'm going to begin by placing Wally here.
Hmm.
So the rules of placement are different from the rules of movement. Basically, when you're placing characters to begin the game, uh, you cannot place characters adjacent to yourself, right? So Phaser could not place here, 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 or here, and he cannot place where I am either. So I could not have placed Wally in the same place as Phaser,
Same square.
the same square, yeah.
Let's face it. Yeah.
All right, so now it's my go. I'm going to go with Kin. Yeah, I'm going to go with Kin. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm just there. You are. I'm just trying to place everything better. All right. Mm, so he's already placed his best grappler, which is Wally, and his best ball player, which is King. And I have placed Phaser, my ball carrier, and Tackle, which is a mercenary that is very good at grappling. My team is fairly aggressive, so what I want to do is I want to push his flyers around. So I'm going to take Safety, which is a very good pusher, and place him here near the middle of the board so I can see what he does next.
Okay, you can see that some of the players, we both have them, and that's because in the core set, each team is going to have 2 unique players and then the 6 mercenaries, right? So every team can have mercenaries. So in the game, you can build your own team from a pool of players from your team, your color, and from the mercenaries. And the mercenaries are equal for everyone. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Tackle over here. So I want to be all around the ball. So wherever he goes, I can get him.
All right. I'm going to take Sherion, who is a very good pusher. I'm going to place him maybe here. I want to be near King in case he gets the ball from me.
So I'm going to go with safety as well.
And then what we have left is two ball carriers, two mercenary ball carriers. They are different, but I think I already have enough with Phaser for now. And then we've got a hacker and a striker. What the hacker does is, like we learned before, he's able to prevent other flyers from moving and also switching off certain terrain elements. And then striker is very good because he can come into the board during the activation phase as opposed as during the substitution phase, like everybody else. But that's what that means is it's better to actually have him out of the board. So I'm gonna go with my hacker, and I'm gonna place him maybe here, away from the action, because he's a fairly weak player. I want to be away from his main grapplers.
Yeah, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but over here. I want no trouble. Okay, so we have 5 characters each on the board. The rest of the characters, we're going to move them to the reserve. We can play them later.
Yep. I'm gonna separate the flyers that I have on the board from the flyers that I have on my reserve over
Yes.
here.
Okay.
You do not have to do this, but it's a lot easier to manage if you do.
Yes. All right, so we're going to remove this starting tile, and now we're going to shuffle these ones, so we get a random one to begin with.
Yep.
All right. Is it the same one? Oh no. Okay, so
No, it's not the same one.
we can see the board here is a lot more interesting with all this stuff going on. All right, so there are 2 types of things. You have area terrain, which you can find in the squares, and there are obstacles, which you can find between squares.
Between squares, yeah.
So obstacles, as soon as you cross through them, they will do something to you. While area terrain will only do something to you at the end of the round if you are still on top of them, right? So it's still safe to be on top of this asteroid for as long as when it's Sirion's turn, he moves away. Okay, so what do they do? It's quite simple. Red ones would wound you. So you go through a red obstacle, you would get wounded. If you end the round in a red area terrain, you will get wounded as well. While yellow ones will give you a tired token. Okay? And then there is the momentum obstacles. When you go through them, you get the momentum token of the color they're pointing towards, right? And you will see at the end of the round what that does, but it will force you to perform movements in those directions. So if you get a blue token after moving from here to here, then at the end of the round I will have to perform an extra movement towards there, even if I don't want to.
Yep.
These open ones, these ones
Yeah.
here, after someone crosses through them, he can choose to place a momentum token in either direction. It won't do anything to them, but it will do something to whoever is following them. So very handy. Okay, I think that's it, and we can begin
Yeah.
playing. So because
Yeah.
he
So
has,
I started placing, so Carlos will begin his
yes,
activation first.
right. So I will begin my activation, and basically I could try to go for the ball straight away, or I could try to debilitate his team and to make it easier later on. So that depends on your strategy and your players. So I'm actually always very afraid of Serian. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my hacker to hack him. So he's in a very nice spot if I am successful, because he will get wounded.
When he says nice, he means awful.
Yes, it's all a matter of perspective. Okay,
Perspective, yeah.
so the only thing you can do is use your firewall. So draw a card.
Yep.
Let's flip it. So I get a
And
total of 7.
I get 5. I
Right.
get hacked.
So I'm successful, and you get a hack token on Serian.
Yeah.
That is great because it means he won't be pushing me around, and he might get injured if he doesn't do anything about that.
That sucks balls. I gotta be honest with you.
And
All
if I'm
right.
moving hacker, wait. No, I'm not moving hacker. He's fine where he is. You go.
All right. So he didn't go for the ball. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to keep it, and I'm gonna do that by moving Phaser. Phaser's got two special skills. The first one gives him 1 extra point to defend the ball. The second one allows him to ignore obstacles during his activation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move here and then here. And I'm going to choose to ignore the red obstacle so I'm not wounded. And yeah.
Are you going to activate the other one? No.
Yeah, and I'm going to activate. Why is everything? Yeah, I'm going to activate this open obstacle, and I'm going to have it point towards the outside. I want to say.
Up to you.
Yeah, let's do outside. Pick one of these. Flip it. There.
All right. So that is not great.
And I'm going to rotate this card.
So that's trouble for my ball player because he's quite far away. He won't be able to reach him. But I can still reach him with this guy and push him out or something. So I can still do bad things to him, which is good. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to activate Wally, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to grapple your tackle.
Okay.
So what are you going to
I'm
do?
gonna grapple you back.
All right, let's see. Oh, damn. I get a 1. So that's a total of 4.
All right, and I get a 7. So you have been grappled.
Right.
I'm gonna
So
place the grapple token here, and I'm gonna give him a grapple token.
yes. All right. So I keep this card. I leave it on the table, and it basically allows me to heal a wounded flyer that is in my reserve.
Oh, and I get a tired token.
Yeah, from
Because I
countering
have
the grapple.
already used my action with the tackle.
Yes. So that was not as successful as it could have been, but that's all right. Oh, we should mention the cards. They go from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
So that's important to keep in mind. You
Yeah,
have
and there's 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, and 4 4s.
yes.
So 16 cards in total. When you play through all of them, then you reshuffle, but
Yes.
not before.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So what I'm gonna do is, because of this interesting situation, I'm going to look at tackle skills. And what he does is when he gets out of the board, when he leaves the board, he reduces the victory point cost of leaving the board by 1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the board, and because I'm grappling Wally, Wally is gonna be forced to leave the board too. I would normally lose 1 point, but because of Tackle's ability, I will lose no points. But he's gonna lose 2 points, so I'm actually gonna go ahead by 2 points.
Damn it. Okay.
And during the next substitution phase, at the beginning of the next round, we will be able to bring a new flyer into the board.
Yes.
When
So
you
that's not
get out
great.
of the board, you remove all token from your flyer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
I lost 2 points. That wasn't Great. It's not what Wally is supposed to do. But okay. Okay, so it's my go. And let's see what I can do. So this thing here is not amazing. My tackle is too far from everything else. It's too far to do anything interesting. So you know what? Let's try this. I'm going to come with king here.
Okay, you get a momentum token.
I get a yellow momentum token.
Yep.
And I'm going to grapple hacker.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, because my grapple is 0 and my dodge is 2, your grapple is
1.
1.
I got a total of 5.
No, I get a 3 in total.
So I grapple
grapples
your
me.
character. It's fantastic. Take that.
That's not good. Not good.
And I take this. So your character cannot hack while he's grappled.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay here or move. I'm afraid you're going to push me out with this guy. I think I'm going to stay. Actually, let's move here. Why not?
Yep.
Okay. So that's
Why
my
so
action.
bouncy? All right. Let's straighten this up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my safety over here. I'm gonna cross this railgun. What that means is he's gonna gain purple momentum. So at the end of the round, he will not be on top of the asteroid. He will be here actually.
Yeah,
and I'm going
smart.
to push my Serion here. And you can push your own flyers. That's a very good way of
Saving their lives.
saving their lives from effects such as these. I don't know why it's been so bouncy today. This is the first time this happens.
If you're very zoom out, it goes insane. You have to zoom in a lot. It's very annoying. But, I mean...
I'm losing the ball.
Alright, so you have to get a purple momentum token.
Yeah, sorry. So let's take one of these.
And activate your guy. Right, so I don't want to be here, because although Serion is hacked, he can still do actions. He can still push me. So I'm going to activate this guy. And I'm going to move here and grapple his player. And see what happens.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push you outside.
Okay. So I get a total of 6.
Come on, come on, come on. Yes!
What you get?
7. Get out.
Okay, so I keep this card. After round ends, I can move 2 of my flyers from my to my reserve without paying victory points. That's very nice.
Yep. And I get a tired token because I pushed outside my activation.
Yes. So this guy, I keep losing all my encounters. So this guy is out, but
have you lost your points?
I don't, because he is tackled.
Oh, he's tackled, right.
So it is during my activation, so I can lose either 0 points if I don't do an action, or 1 point if I do an action. I did my action, therefore I should have lost 1 point.
Yeah,
Tackled reduces the cost by 1. It's very nice. Okay, so your turn.
All right. So my plan was obviously push tackle with Sarion.
Yeah.
But now that we got that out of the way, um, I can either activate Sarion and do nothing, or activate my hacker and do nothing because he's got no grapple skill, and that's the only thing he can do.
Yes.
So I'm gonna activate Sarion. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna remove the hacked token.
Yep. Okay. So it's my go. I only have one guy left, which is safety. I'm going to activate safety to push Phaser out of the board.
Yeah, my original plan was to hack safety,
Yeah,
but
I
that
kind of
didn't go as
guessed that.
planned. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's see what happens. I'm gonna dodge,
I
and
get
I'm
a
gonna get
5.
a say 5 as well.
Yeah, so because I'm an attacker, I win the draws, and therefore I'm
Yeah,
successful. Phaser is pushed out, and he loses 2 points from that.
yeah.
I cannot pick up the ball because picking up the ball is one action, and I already performed my action. So now it's Helio's turn.
I'm just gonna activate my hacker and do nothing.
Right. So I can now, because I don't have any more characters on the board, I'm supposed to pass. But I have this character here, Striker, and he can enter the board from
Why
any.
didn't I do that?
I
I forgot I could do that.
No, but
Yeah,
it's better that you didn't. You know why? Because now I'm going to pick up the ball and then
and I'm gonna
we're
win the tie afterwards.
yes, because you're
Yeah,
going to be the attacker and you're going to win the tie. So it was
I
better that you didn't,
yeah I actually thought of that, but then I forgot I thought of that.
of course. All right, so I'm picking up the ball and
So let's review these rules really quickly.
yes,
When you come into the board, either like this or with the special action that with the special skill that Striker has, or during the substitution phase, like any other flyer, you have to bear in mind the obstacles in the borders of the circuit sheet
yes,
that you're currently in.
yeah,
So if you go through an orange obstacle, then you will come into the board already with a tire token or with a momentum token or wounded or depending on the situation.
yeah.
But yeah,
It,
that's why there are obstacle tokens on the circuit border.
yes. Okay, so I come into the to the line here and I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to move, but where? Where could I move that is bad for you? I think nowhere. I guess far for Serion, in case next round I'm still here. Okay, here go. That's all I can do.
All right. So I'm gonna bring my striker in as well, and I'm gonna come in through the same square. If I came through here or through here, I would be tired and I couldn't steal the ball. And if I came through here, then I would need to go through the red obstacle and be wounded. And I don't want that, so I'll come through here, move 2, and then attempt to steal the ball.
Please do not.
Let's draw a card.
Okay, I get 2 plus 2 from my
I get
skill plus 1 because when I enter the place, the game, I get plus 1 until the end of the round. You do as well, so I have a
yeah.
total of
So I
5.
get the 3 plus 1, 4. I lose,
Yes! Oh my god.
but I get to keep this card, which is quite good. It's a +1 to a future confrontation,
Whatever, I keep the ball. That's all that
so that's not
matters.
too bad. Yeah.
So I was very lucky because in the draw I would have lost, so he had bigger chances of winning. Okay, so I keep the ball. Everyone is activated. It's my turn. I have to pass because no one else can enter the board. No one else has that kind of special ability. It's
Yeah.
Elio's turn and he
I'll
must
have
pass
to
as well.
pass as well.
Right. So now what we do is we resolve momentum. So who has momentum? Keen has momentum. And because
I've
Keen has
got.
momentum, actually Hacker has to have it too.
Oh yeah. So
If I'm
yellow.
grappling someone, we're going to get the same momentum.
So I'm gonna pick up two directly because we're gonna go through a railgun.
All right, yeah. All right, so let's move them. We're going to move here because we have a yellow momentum which points towards the yellow border. Once we move through there, we get another yellow momentum, but we don't resolve it yet. So the momentum you gain while resolving momentum is not resolved at the same time. Okay.
In the same phase, yeah.
Yes.
And the same thing will happen to my safety, which is who is going to move here, go through this railgun again, and gain another purple momentum, which will be resolved next round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So now we check if anyone gets hit by any area terrain. No one does. We remove the tokens on the board. And we end the round. So
Yeah.
when we end the round, we remove one of the tiles.
And you
And now
score.
and I scored 3 points because I got the ball.
Yeah.
Right, so that was actually a successful round for me. All right, so now it's your turn and you are going to begin.
Yeah.
First
We should ready the flyers.
yes. So we ready the flyers and we begin with the entering from the reserve phase.
Yep. Now I will get to start, and I'm interested in bringing a good ball player. So it's going to be either a phaser or center. And I'm going to go with phaser just because he's a little bit better and he can get a +1 if I manage to actually steal the ball.
Yeah, it's very good. And he can directly enter
Definitely.
this square.
Yeah, I could enter through here.
Oh no,
No,
it's
I
not your
could not.
activation. No, you cannot.
It's only during my activation. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna go here just in case he gets hacked. So I don't want to be here because things happen sometimes
Right.
before you can do anything about them.
So I'm going to enter with center, I think. Okay, do I want to fight the ball or do I want to fight the fight? Mm-hmm. So I got the ball, but he has two guys that can take it from me. And then Keen couldn't reach them because he could move somewhere where I could reach. Okay, let's try this. Let's try to play the ball. So we're going to come in here with a center. Right. So it's your you begin.
All right. So I need to get the ball first because otherwise he might be able to move away to a spot where I cannot reach him. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to move here and steal the ball.
All right, that's not great. So I get a 2 + 2, 4.
I get a 6, so that's my ball.
Yes, so you're successful. You take the ball from me.
Yeah.
There you have it. And I get a tire token.
And this guy is activated. And I'm going to keep moving. And I'm going to move here and ignore this obstacle with Phaser's skill, so that anyone who tries to steal the ball from me will have to go through one of these obstacles, which should eventually be fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's not amazing, but we can still do things. For example, center could... Do I want to do this, or do I want to hack someone before it gets dangerous? I think I actually want to hack someone. No, I'm going to activate safety. Whoa, what happened there?
Oh,
Someone flew away.
watch out.
Oh
Center is there, and
my god,
cornerback is there. Yeah.
it's crazy. Okay, so he's going to move 2 there, and he's going to push your bloody striker.
Striker, where?
I want to push him out. I think he's annoying. Yeah, out. He's out. There's
All right.
So I guess you can only dodge with that character.
I can only dodge, yeah.
Okay, I get a magnificent 4.
I get a 4 as well, but that means you win.
Yes. So you're pushed out.
I could use my +1, but I'm not gonna do it because...
No, that's mine. You took... Oh no.
I'm red. You're green.
Right. I don't know what's going on with me.
So, yeah, I want to keep that for more interesting things later on, maybe.
Yes.
So that means, however, I lose 2 points, yeah.
Okay, as you can see, he only has 1 point left. So there is a limit towards how much you can bully the other player. And once he has lost all of the points, it's actually quite a liberating feeling because you can start leaving the board and going out and doing crazy things without a cost. So you can grapple someone, take him out, and he will lose 2 points, but you will lose no points, sorry. And it's quite interesting. So some of the most aggressive teams, like for example the red one, usually has 0 points and tries to get the other player to get down to 0 and wound the characters and then win at the end because the other team is weaker and they can keep the ball.
Yep.
All right, so that was my turn. It's your go.
All right. So there's actually not that much I can do.
Yeah, so I actually did this. So Serian cannot reach any of my players. He becomes quite useless. And then safety could push Kin, but it's not really useful. Wherever he's pushed, he will still be able to reach the ball. So I'm a quite good situation, and I still have 3 characters that, oh no, actually, sorry, only 2 because Striker is tired. I have 2 characters that can try to get the ball. So I think I'm in a good position.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of trapped with Cherion because I either have to go through here and then gain momentum towards there, which is not good. It will end up wounded, go through here, which will leave me here with 2 momentum tokens towards the purple direction, or end up here or here, which will mean I will be wounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out because I haven't performed any actions.
So it's free.
That's free, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, so that's good. I mean, he's just passing the turn. He wants to keep his safety in the game so he can do bad things to me later. Probably push me through this thing. So I'm going to counter that. I'm going to use Hacker on... well, it's safety, right? Yeah, I'm in safety. I'm going to hack you.
Okay. I just
Wait,
can
actually,
use...
safety is tired, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so safety cannot do anything. So I've been overthinking this whole thing for nothing.
Well,
Right. Don't throw that away.
I don't know what happened.
All right, can I change that then?
Yeah, no problem.
So he's tired, he cannot do anything. So now I guess I just want to get the ball. Uh, all right, so I guess I'll use center, move through here, get one blue momentum, and steal the ball from you, if possible.
That's fun. Okay, so this doesn't normally happen. I'm not really sure what's happening today.
The jumping objects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna defend it. I got a 4 plus whatever my card says, which is a 3, a total of 7. So my ball is
Yeah, you
still
win.
mine.
I get another card, which is exactly the same as the other one. Can you wound my characters, please, so I can use this?
I'm okay.
Okay. Another good thing about having these cards is I have fewer ones on my deck, which is
Yeah.
handy.
All right. So it's my go, I guess.
Yeah. That was it.
What I'm gonna do is, because safety cannot do anything, I'm just
He can move.
going to move out.
Okay.
Or am I? Or am I though?
I mean, you got a lot of
He's got,
momentum.
yeah, he's got purple momentum. There's no way of removing it currently on the board. So yeah, I'm just gonna go out.
Okay. You're
And I'm
abandoning the
gonna
game.
lose 1 point because I have a tire token.
Yes. Okay. So what can I do? I'm going to use Hacker. Why is the card not rotating? Okay. This is a weird program. Okay, I'm going to use Hacker to hack your phaser.
Okay.
I think so. No, maybe not. Maybe I hack Hacker. No, I'm going to hack phaser. Let's do it. I get a magnificent 7.
I get a 6, so no.
So no, you mean yes?
No, I don't prevent the hack.
Yes.
That
There you
was
go.
a weird phrasing, sorry.
As your token, you are hacked. Because he has activated this round, that means for the next round he's going to stay there. So even if I don't steal the ball, I know where the ball is going to be, and that's handy. I'm also waiting for his hacker to activate, so I can screw with him. So it's your turn.
Yeah, I can only activate hacker to do nothing again.
Yes, poor hacker. Okay, so now my idea is going to be I'm going to let go of hacker. I was thinking of taking him out of the board, but he doesn't have any more points to lose. So I would actually be doing him a favor by leaving the board. He's going to move 2 towards yellow, so he's going to end up here. Wait,
I just realized we did something wrong.
what
When
happened?
we came in with the striker, we should have paid 1 victory point, as per the text in the card.
Right. So I have to pay that.
Yeah.
True.
In my case, it doesn't matter, but in yours,
Yes.
different story.
He has a very strong ability, so he has a cost. What's interesting is if you have 0 points, you can still do those abilities for free. So you ignore the cost.
Yeah.
So that's what we meant when we were talking about how once you have 0 points, you can begin playing like a crazy person. All right, so I'm thinking I could leave you here, or I could move here, but then you won't leave either because you will remove one of your yellow inertia tokens. So I don't know what I want to do. I want to try to steal the ball, I think. I think I'm going to fail for sure because you're going to use this card. But I guess I have to make you spend it eventually. Ah, so much thinking. Okay,
Just do it.
just do
Just
it.
do it, man.
Yeah, if I let go of you, your hacker is going to be able to screw with me later. And I don't like that.
But when you say later, you mean like next round.
Yes, next round.
If you don't release him, then King, which is who is your best ball carrier, is tied up doing something that isn't really useful.
But are you saying this because you have my best interest in mind or because you want to?
Well, that's up to you to decide.
Okay, so I think I have to go for the ball. Or I could try to wound. I cannot because if I'm my idea was
Just
I move
do it.
here and you will end up there, but you won't. You will end
That
up here.
doesn't work.
Right. So
Just
whatever.
do
I'm just
it.
going to go for the ball.
All right.
So we're going to move.
There you go. That's your token.
We're going to move here. It doesn't matter. I will let you stay there. Okay. So yeah, let's try this. I'm going to take your ball. I got a total of 6.
Not looking good for you, mate. I got 8.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, so Keen's ability allows me to draw a second card and choose which one to play. So I'm thinking,
It doesn't matter if you do that.
yes, it does. Because maybe I want to do it to get rid of a bad card on my deck. I'm going to do it. Let's hope this is not a 4. Ah! Terrible. The last 4 on my deck. Okay.
No.
So I'll go cry on the corner. But I get to choose which one to keep.
You keep the 4.
Oh, after gaining this card, shuffle it back into your deck. That's quite nice. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put it back on the deck, and I'm going to shuffle the deck.
Don't you have to flip it before you put it back?
No.
All right.
Okay, so that's the end, I think. Oh no, I have a striker left, and because he's useless, I'm just going to activate him and pass the time. So before we end the round, well, actually after the round ends, so we have to wait. All right, let's see where the momentum takes us.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move here and lose my 2 yellow momentum tokens.
Yes. Center will move here because she has a blue momentum token and she will gain a new one. And then King will move here and wait,
lose the other yellow.
actually, that was terrible.
That
Terrible.
was really bad for you, yeah.
Yes, because now there are 3 of them on the same place and that cannot happen. So what happens, I am forced to push one in the opposite direction. So I'm going
So
to
I'm
lose.
guessing striker.
I'm going to lose 2 points.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping for you to miss that.
I did miss that. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay.
So this rule is called bunching up, and it's kind of like the offsides CoreBall. There cannot be more than two flyers of the same team in the same square at the same time, and there cannot be more than four flyers in total in the same square at any time.
Yes. All right. So
So,
I guess this guy is going to go out.
so when it happens, if one of your flyers is forced to move into a square where they shouldn't
And I
be,
lose 2 points.
then you have to remove one of your own flyers from that square and push him in the opposite direction. And if there is non flyers controlled by you, let's say you're in a 3-player game and there's 4 flyers from the other team, then you get to choose which one you push,
Yeah.
which is actually quite fun. But you need to have at least 3 players for that to happen.
Yes. Okay.
All
That
right,
was terrible business.
and
Okay.
I'm gonna score 3 points.
And I'm going to
I
get
have the
tired
ball.
from this.
That's not too bad because Hacker is relentless.
No, he's not hacker. He's center.
Ah, then that's not. Yeah,
All right. So I think I'm going to
that's,
use this
that's too
card
bad.
to move 2 of my flyers to the reserve. So I'm going to move center so I can remove all of these tokens. And I think I'm
Take a
going
mini.
to move hacker too.
All right, so this is a very typical CoreBall situation. You started the round with 5 players on the board, but then there's barely no
Complications.
one left at the end of the round.
Yes. Okay. So actually, we have the same points now. That was a terrible round.
That was a great round for me.
Okay. So we get a new board, and now I go first. So I can enter with up to 3 guys. And he has the ball. So I want to be...
You don't have to come in with all of them at the same time, though.
Yes,
You
one by one.
put one, then I put one, and so on.
Yes, so I think... All right, so you cannot escape with the ball. So I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to enter with Wally here.
I cannot escape, but I can put my enforcers in place to screw with your plans.
Yes.
When I say my enforcers, I mean Sherion.
Yes. I know my enemy. I know. Serion.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring Sherion in. I'm just checking the card, and as you can see, he's got a special skill which is called Relentless. So after activating him, you can remove one tire token from him instead of removing it at the end of his activation. So what that means is I can potentially come in through here if I want. Because that's going to give me a tire token, but I'm going to be able to remove at the beginning of my activation. So that could be interesting. And yes, I'm going to do that.
Get the tire token.
Yeah, I'll get the tire token. It's a little bit risky, but I think it will be worth. We'll see if it pays off later on.
Okay. So you have only 3 guys, right? Sorry, let me move that so I can have a picture. Who do I want?
So this is actually the third round, right?
Yes. So we have this
Yeah.
one and
So
one
we
more.
get this round and one more.
Yeah. So I'm still okay. Can still play.
I
All
think I
right.
have a slight advantage because I have the ball now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it develops.
And you go first.
And no, you go first.
I go first. So it's my round. All right.
Uh,
So I'm going to
so
put
I got the ball
tackle there.
so at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So you started, then I started, and it's your turn to start.
Yes. We need a first player token.
Yeah. We actually have a very cool plan for the Kickstarter campaign for the first player token. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the time to talk about that yet. We hope it will be a nice surprise.
Okay. Go for it. You're wrong.
All right. So I have another enforcer that I would like to bring to the board. I'm gonna bring my safety here.
Okay. So my last player, and the thing is, once I place my last flyer, he is going to place his last flyer. And that is terrible for me because if I place my last flyer somewhere here, for example, he could place his here, and there is no way for me to reach him. So what he could do is just pass the ball, throw the ball to him.
But remember, you get to start.
Yes, but that means I have to be successful straight away, and you have this card that gives you a +1.
Not looking good for you, my friend.
Yes, not happy times. Okay, so I'm going to risk it by going with center here. Yep, I'm going to do that.
All right. So I'm gonna bring my forward in. And what a forward does is she can become activated when somebody else comes into her square.
Yes,
So yeah, I'm gonna
that's
place
a
her
great choice, I think. So basically, if
somewhere
I
here, I
if
think.
I fail on getting the ball during my first turn, and he gets to pass the ball to him, there's basically no way for me to get the ball from that guy. Because
So that's what I'm gonna do.
as
Yeah.
soon as I enter that square, he's going to escape to the another place, and none of my other guys can get him. Her. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's begin by saying that King is just going to go straight away for the ball.
I'm gonna defend it.
So I got a 6.
Not looking good, and I get a 7. Yes.
A 7?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to use my ability to draw a second card, and let's hope it's the 4 I discarded. Yes!
But I'm gonna. Do you have a +1?
No, I do not.
Then I'm gonna add my +1,
Oh,
and I get to keep the ball,
yes.
which means I will very likely get to score this round as well.
Okay, so I can choose between these two cards.
You should probably get the 4, get it back into the deck
Yeah,
again,
and then shuffle.
and shuffle and activate King. Yeah. All right. So what do we have here? We've got a tackle.
Oh, wait.
A
Let me do my second movement.
second movement, yeah. A tackle, a safety,
Wait, maybe I don't want to do it.
and a volley. Let's take a
Yeah, I'm
look
going to
at
stay.
their ball skills. 1, 1, and 1. So, have you decided? Are you
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
not moving.
stay there?
Yep, I'm staying.
Not moving.
No.
Okay. So actually, I'm not sure whether I want to pass the ball or not
Mm.
because I don't think any of these guys can really steal the ball from me because they have ball 1,
They can
I have
grapple you.
ball 4 to defend. They can grapple me, that's true. And then the ball will be released. But then I get to activate.
But then you cannot pass it to forward.
I
Because
cannot pass it to forward, but I can pick it up with any of my guys.
only with hacker and safety. Serion cannot even pick it up.
Well, Sharing is not there to pick up balls. Come on.
So whatever you prefer.
Sharing's got more important things to do. On the one hand, if I pass, it's a guaranteed score, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
On the other hand, I really want to get started with harming some of those guys already.
Up to you.
Yeah, no, let's pass it. Let's play it safe.
Okay, wait.
Oh, no.
You want to move first.
Yeah. No, I cannot move because I'm hacked.
Okay.
That's why yeah.
Right. So how this works is you can
Yeah.
pass the ball to any other character on the board, but anyone in the same square as you or the same square as the defender can counter it. Right? So because Phaser is hacked, he cannot move, and when he passes the ball to forward, King can counter it. So that's kind of why I wanted to stay there.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I've come here to
Otherwise,
push
it's free.
people out.
We should make that clear. If no one can
So
counter the pass, it's automatically successful.
I'm just gonna. Mm, oh wait, this is the first time ever that my hacker is actually free
Yes.
and can actually get to do something. So I'm just gonna hack somebody
All right.
just for the kicks. I'm gonna hack Wally because he's always screwing up my plans. I'm just gonna hack him. He's got firewall 1. I think it should be easy.
Okay.
So I
Yes.
get a magnificent 4.
I got a 3.
So he's hacked.
See, it's hacked. Ah, poor Wally. He's so bad at this.
And I'm gonna move my away from danger over here.
Will you turn it
And
on?
I'm gonna turn that on and point towards the green side, so towards the outside. So if somebody decides to come do something to my hacker, they will be pushed out of the board by the momentum.
Yes. Okay. That is not excellent.
Actually, no. Let's do that instead. It's way more fun because if they come here, they will end up here, which will make them tired and therefore useless for the next round, and they will gain an extra inertia token, which means at the end of the next round they will end up here.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So
At this point, I'm more worried about keeping his flyers busy rather than making him lose points, if that makes sense.
So I'm going to activate tackle. Move
Yep.
here. I'm going to put one of these things. And I think I want it pointing towards there. And I'm going to grapple Phaser.
All right, I can only dodge, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dodge.
Okay, I got a 6.
I got a 4, which is quite bad.
So I do grapple you, and the ball is
I'm
now.
losable. Yeah.
Yes. And now you take this, and I take this. Good. So you have been grappled, and I have to move away because otherwise I cannot get into this square. So where do I want to move? With Phaser.
All right, so now we will get to see my plan coming into action.
I hope it's not very good.
It's not. It's not brilliant. It's just good enough, which is how you win at this game, by plotting good enough plans.
So I'm going to move you there.
All right. So remember how it was risky to pass the ball before because King was there and could intercept my pass, but I couldn't move away with Phaser because he was hacked. Then I can take this humble safety with ball skill 1, come here, pick up the ball, move here, and I'm safe. I could potentially pass it.
No, you can't.
But picking it up is an action, so I cannot.
Yes. Okay, take your ball token.
However, sadly, yeah, I will take my ball token. I will take my purple inertia as well.
Yes.
That's my safety. Yeah. All right.
Okie dokie.
That wasn't too bad.
Right, so now you are within reach of this guy. So even if I go take the ball.
Actually, not a good idea. I should stay here. Can I take it back and stay here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be best.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is move here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm going to push you where here.
Yep. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push you back here.
All right. Oh, I think there are 2 cards here, and I throw. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Seriously?
Yes.
So
You have been served.
Okay, so you push me there.
You get the inertia. Where's your safety? There.
Yes. Okay, so I still have 2 movements.
And I get a tire token because I pushed outside of my activation.
That is terrible, but I can still do things. So I think I'm going to leave the board.
Yeah, that's right.
Because otherwise I will be forced to leave the board. And I lose an extra point if I do that. So safety moves 3, so I could actually move here.
Oh, he moves 3.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But then I will have 2 momentum, move there, and then get an extra momentum, and the last round is going to be insane. So I'm going to leave the board.
I totally forgot he moved 3. Shame on me.
Yeah, it happens. And that's the end of my activation, sadly.
And you lose a point. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah. So who do you have left? You've got Wally, who is hacked, and you've got Center, who cannot reach the ball.
Yes, correct.
So she will have to do something else. And what I have is Sherion, forward, and Phaser. Phaser can't really do anything. But then Sherian and forward, it's another story. I want king out.
Makes sense.
He's always bothering me. No, king is good there. I want Wally out.
Why does king have a grapple token?
Because you were
Oh, I was grappling like a million
grappling,
years ago.
yeah, a million years ago, yeah. No, sorry.
That's cheating.
Uh,
Now we need to shuffle.
we can shuffle, no problem. What do I want to do? Do you have any momentum on you?
No.
No. Okay, so if I try to get Wally out, maybe he will grapple me, and that's not good. Because Sheridan can't get out of that. And if I push King out, he's going to come in to a better position.
I lose a point or 2 points.
But you lose 2 points, yeah. But your tackle has already been activated, right?
Yes, I only have center and Wally left, and Wally cannot do anything.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move there. I'm going to push the tackle here.
You know,
If I'm successful,
I'm grappling Phaser, so he will move with me.
that's not good. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to push Wally out.
All right, so Wally is going to take his chances and he's going to grapple you.
Oh, I get to remove my
before you
fire
select
token before my activation.
So you got a 7.
I got a 6. What?
So I grapple you. You should have remembered that I still have the 4 there.
I didn't know you only had 1 card left. Plus, I'm not that skilled with memory things.
Counting cards and
Counting cards, yeah.
actually,
but I get to keep my card. Yeah, that's not too bad. Choose a
it's very
square.
good because you can use
Cancel.
it in that square.
No, because he's relentless. I don't care.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so now it's my turn, and I'm going to just activate Wally, I guess. Wait.
Wally should be tired.
Oh yes, because he did his.
Because he grappled.
Okay,
but
it
he
doesn't
gets
matter
to
because he's going to activate.
Yeah, he gets to remove it now.
Yeah. So you go.
You have center still. So center's got push 1, and forward's got push 1 as well.
Center or forward? You have forward.
Yeah, but you've got center over there.
Yeah.
But no, that's not good enough. I'm gonna activate Phaser.
And remove the hack token.
Remove the hack token, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I guess I'll have to activate center. Because she cannot do anything. Like she cannot reach this guy without taking too much damage and stuff. I'm going to leave the board. For free because I didn't do an action. So hopefully for the last final round I can get in a good position. You're making this very difficult.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna activate my forward and actually leave the board. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I get striker. It's coming in now. He kind of has to.
You have to pay a victory point to do
Yes.
that.
I'm thinking where from. I think it doesn't matter. So here. So I pay 1 victory points to enter with him. I will come in here and I will steal the ball from you. Hopefully. So I have to flip my deck, shuffle it, and I have a new deck. Let's do it.
All right.
I got a 5.
I got probably less.
Yep.
Yeah, 3.
Alright. So I take the ball from you and you get tired.
I get tired? Oh, yeah. That's right. That's not good.
I mean, he's already tired, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your go. You could also try to enter with Striker.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Of course.
Striker. Such an annoying character.
I'm just going to pay a victory point. You only have 1 left, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this guy is not in the board. This guy. I'm just going to come in. And I'm going to take the ball from you.
No, you will not.
Yes, I will.
Yes, you will. Oh, wait. What was the score? Oh, it's the same score, right? Because I have the
No, it's
plus.
not the same score. I have 1 more point than you.
Yeah. I mean, even if I use my +1, it's the same score, therefore you still
Oh,
win.
you have a +1 now.
Yeah. Okay, that's terrible, because you now have the ball, and now my character is tired for the next round, and he's useless.
All right. So I get to score 3 points. Well, let's do this in order. We resolve momentum.
Yes, I have none.
So my safety is coming here,
I'm getting another one.
gaining another momentum.
Yeah,
So he's useless, basically.
Yeah.
And that's it for my momentum.
Right. So let's get everyone ready again. No one crosses with anything. Oh yeah, here you get tired with Sarion.
Yep. And he doesn't get tired though. Wally, I mean.
Yeah, Wally doesn't, because that's his ability. He basically grapples people and takes them to places where nothing happens to him, but bad things.
Maybe you can zoom into the card,
Yeah.
show people.
So he ignores the wounds by air terrain and the tired tokens from air terrain as well. He's a great character. I haven't used him properly. Okay, so we draw a new one, and we want to shuffle this because we saw it before. Okie dokie.
All right, this is great.
So you are going to be first player.
Great.
Disagree. Okay, you have 5 guys on the board. Yeah, I don't have 5 guys on the board, so I can enter.
How do I have 5 guys on the?
Because you enter with the striker at the last.
I didn't plan for that. So my plan was to bring my forward in now, because my plan was to already have the ball without the need
That's
for
what
my
happens with plans.
striker.
They never take place.
Plans never work. Yeah,
yes.
that's the lesson.
Oh my god, what's happening? We create a Portis. Ah!
Stop moving things around, Carlos.
Sorry. Crazy game. Okay. So I have to enter with someone. Let's see. Your hacker is here. I don't care about him. You have the ball with this guy, but he's pretty bad at keeping it. That's the problem with this guy. He can really steal it, but then you're stuck with a terrible player. But you can still move somewhere. Okay, doesn't matter. I have to enter with
bring
someone.
in your guy.
Okay, so I could go with center. He will allow me an extra chance of stealing the ball. I could go with safety. So basically, even if I steal the ball, I'm losing by a lot. So I could get the ball, I would have 4 points, and he would have 5. So I have to steal the ball and make him lose more points than he's going to make me lose. So hard.
No, it should be easy for you. It should be quite easy, actually.
Right. So, do I want ball or do I want to fight? I think I want to fight. Okay, so you have one character that's tired. He won't do anything. And then Serion, the most he can accomplish is to become free.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can become free because he will lose the tired token.
Yeah, but look at this.
What? Oh, he has no grappling. Oh, that's excellent. So, okay, so he's not going to do anything. That's excellent. So you have 2 guys who won't do anything. Actually, 3 guys because Phaser is grapple. Oh, actually, I'm kind of winning.
No, you're gonna win. I think you're gonna win unless you screw up royally.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. All right, so what happens is if I make you lose all of your points, but you still keep the ball, you're going to win. So I must get the ball. So where can you move that I won't get the ball? You could get wounded to try to bother me.
But why would you bring that guy in?
Oh, sorry. This guy.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Remember to pick up the momentum.
Yes.
That may or may not matter later on.
Yes. Okay, so I have to. No, I'm going to bring this guy here. Let's risk it.
So that guy there.
Yes. He moves 3, and I think I need the board control. Maybe it's a bad choice. I don't know. Okay, you begin.
Okay then. So I have a plan. I'm going to move here. I'm going to pass the ball to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move out.
So you lose a point.
I don't. Oh, yeah, I lose a point. Do I want to do that?
You can always
So
sit in the corner.
if I do that, I lose a point. If not, I risk being pushed out and losing 2 points. I think I'm gonna risk it.
Yeah, I think at this stage it's better to risk.
Yeah.
And I don't have that many people who can push you over there.
Yeah.
You're pretty far away.
So, oh, you didn't give me. Yeah. Yes. So now the hackers got the ball.
Yes. Okay, I was not expecting that to happen.
I know. Now you get to steal the ball with the wonderful safety, or maybe with Wally. So that's outstanding.
All right, so what I'm going to do
for me.
is move here and push you out.
Push me out.
Yes.
I'm gonna dodge because that's the only thing I can do.
Good luck.
And if I win, then I cannot win. That's too bad.
Yes, so you're pushed out. You lose 2 points, and I'm going to move back here because I have 3 movements.
Oh no!
I think I'm going to win.
I didn't plan this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to win. Unless you surprise me.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, your whole team is... You overextended the previous round.
Yeah, I shouldn't have tried to push Wally out with Sherion.
I mean, it wasn't that risky, but I mean, it was the most risky move you have
The
made.
most risky thing I did, yeah.
Okay, so you go.
All right. Mm,
I'll
so I'm
give
gonna
it.
move this guy somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the board.
I'm gonna move there. Remove one of these tokens.
Right. Okay. So I guess I will activate Wally.
Oh, I get to move 3, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna move there instead.
I'm going to activate Wally, and we're going to leave the board. That's going to cost you 2 points.
It's gonna cost me 2 points. Yeah.
Your go.
So my plan was to hack Wally, so he couldn't do that, but you pushed me out. So
Yes. So actually, it was a
there's
good movement to get
that.
safety there. Oh, safety is activated. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's not much I can do. I can activate Phaser to do nothing, and that's it.
Yeah. So
That's me.
basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tackle to leave the board. That will take the last 2 points from you. And that means that I win because I have 1 point and you have nothing.
All right.
I cannot actually get the ball, so it's just going to float there. But I mean, it's a
That
Pyrrhic
was close.
victory, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was very close.
So what happens if you tie?
If we tie, whoever has the most wounded, actually most dead characters loses, and then the most wounded. But we were
Loses?
actually quite peaceful in this game. We didn't,
Yeah, we were peaceful.
no one was wounded.
And I think we have another tiebreaker here that we didn't think about. We can use, which is if you have the ball, you win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
So
what you just heard is yes, the rules of this game are not yet finished. As you've seen, the game is completely playable, but we're still balancing out some quirks, especially some of the flyer abilities.
yeah,
But also small stuff like this, maybe tiebreakers, things like that. So if you want to join us for our playtesting
efforts.
program, you're more than welcome to do that. And we're going to run a playtesters tournament at some point. So we hope you will be happy to join us in that.
Yes.
Yeah, you will
Yeah.
get to play with us every week if you want.
Yeah. So what you saw here is the most vanilla version of the game, the one you're going to get from the core box. But we plan to do expansions with new figures, new flyers for every team. And that's going to be very cool because it will allow you to create your own team, uh, make your own strategies, create your own synergies, and have a
Yeah.
unique play style. Uh, so the more unique the flyers are, the more interesting it becomes.
Yeah, as you saw, we only had like 2 unique flyers each,
Hmm.
but we have already designed a bunch of unique flyers for each team. Actually, we have enough flyers to make an entire unique team.
Yeah, you could
instead
have.
of having mercenaries, and that makes the gameplay a little bit more thematic. So the red team is a lot more aggressive. The green team is all about neutralizing opponent players. The purple team is all about hacking everybody all of the time, and the yellow team is about controlling the ball and getting a lot of synergies going out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of flyers that can activate outside of their turn and things like that. And yeah, we hope you'll be joining us to finish up the playtesting and balancing of all of these flyers. We hope you enjoyed this match, even though maybe it wasn't the most typical CoreBall match, but we didn't want to script anything.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't know
this
how
is how it
long.
happened. Yeah,
I don't know how long it took us to play. Usually the game takes about an hour or 45 minutes.
yeah,
It probably took us longer because we were all the time speaking about what we were doing,
yeah.
and
Explaining the rules and
yeah,
such.
and every time
But yeah,
Helio said, "This is my plan," then I was like, "Oh, now I have to rethink my plan to counter it."
to be totally fair, I should probably not have said my plan out loud all of the
Yes.
time. But I think for this first published match, it was more interesting
Yes, I think so
for you
too.
guys to get to know what was going through my head when we were playing. If we were playing competitively, then you probably shouldn't share your plans.
Yes.
But yeah,
And you don't actually have to clean the board after playing.
no, it's just I have OCD, so I do it because I.
Yes, self-diagnosed OCD, like half the geeks in the universe. Okay, so Anna, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You can also read the rules online. I guess it's very hard to get the whole thing only from listening to us. And also, you probably got lost a little bit in some parts when we were talking about some flyers. Um, you were probably thinking, oh, who is this guy and what does he do? What's his skills? So after a while, you learn it and you learn to distinguish the miniatures quite easily. They're all very unique.
Yeah, we went for uh, outrageous flying poses so that you're able to distinguish them at a glance. And once you get to see the physical prototypes, like the actual miniatures, I think you're gonna agree with us. And the studio who is sculpting them is Big Child Studios, Big Child Creatives, and they are actually collaborating with us in this project. So it's not just a Burning Games game; it's a Burning Games and Big Child Creatives game.
Yes, and they're
Yeah,
making amazing work.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's all for today.
All right. Thank you for playing, Elio. It was fun.
Thank you for the game, and yeah, maybe catch a game next week again.
Yeah, let's do that. Bye.
See ya.